Hey, good afternoon, everyone. We're glad to have you in this afternoon. I don't know what it's doing where you're at, but I'm here in South Alabama, and I hear rain hitting outside. Joey, we have went from cold weather here in the South, and today I am back in my light fishing shirt and a pair of short breeches. And so it's probably had to be 70 something degrees here today. I don't know what it was everywhere else. But I was outside in shorts this afternoon and had on my dock shoes and just enjoying the day. And but it's been a nice day. And Joey, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Stacy. I've been this diet deal's killing me, man. I don't want to say it, especially amongst us three men, but I've been on a diet here the last week and a half. Hardly not eating any sugar, drinking just a little bit of sugar with my coffee, and walking every night of the week. And it's been cold here, man. I finally got to get out on the water today and caught no fish, but I needed a day out there. So that's that. It's as far as your weather, yeah, it's not 72 here. I think we're supposed to get an inch or so of snow tomorrow, and it was about mid-30s today, and I fished, like I said, I fished quite a bit today and just didn't catch nothing. But yeah, that's that.
Hey, let me address something when we get started here, because we're trying to change some stuff up, and I know everybody comes in the chat, and we're running through some issues because there's questions and stuff being asked. Guys, we're gonna ask that. If you want to put SDC in one time, that's fine. But we're just going to be looking for drawing names of just people out of the chat, whether you put SDC in or not, because we're not the chat is being just filled up with SDC. We're missing a whole lot of stuff. We're missing a whole lot of things. People putting it in numerous times. So guys, we appreciate you being here. We ask you to participate in chat, to talk in chat, and to please ask us questions during this episode. Guys, if y'all don't know this guy, we have a special guest with us this afternoon. I call him HotRod. HotRod Haynes. I got to know him or got acquainted with him several years ago through a guy by the name of Michael Smith. Michael Smith is located out there in Texas, also along here with, that's where you're located at too. And you used to fish with Michael a lot. And Hot Rod Haynes had done started his own guide service, been doing some catfishing guide now, I'm going to say for a good little while. Guys, his number is up here on the board. So if y'all interested in some guide trip, y'all contact this guy. And y'all give him a welcome to this program. Hot Rod, welcome to the program tonight, man.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, listen, man, we're glad to have you in here. We got a lot of people in chat. We're going to go over a lot of things, and we're going to talk some fishing out here on Lake Tawakoni is where you're from. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, let me give this right here. I want to give a shout out because you are one of the founding members of the High Fins Blues Club.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Absolutely,
yes, sir. Hey, and you made mention to me in a chat a while ago about a mentor. Who is this guy?
There's the one and only Captain Michael Smith. I feel blue.
Yes, sir. And Michael is a great guy. He is a great guy.
He's doing a lot of great things. Built a lot for me. He's a great mentor. New things in our future now, and looking forward to all the big tournaments and stuff in the future.
Yes, sir. Hey, you know what? It may just be me, Hot Rod, and I don't know if Joey's seen him, but when he puts that hat he's got on that he wears, a lot, I'm like, he looks like a fishing guide.
He does. He's got the fisherman look, don't he? I still
I'm telling
enjoy. I still
you,
enjoy the show
he
we
got
have
it,
with him.
man.
I enjoyed the show we had with him. I remember him standing at Bass Pro Shops, and he was standing out in the cold trying to get his reception, and that was a good show. He was one of the first. Stacy, I believe he was one of the first fellas we had on the show.
I remember that well.
Yeah, he was. He was one of the first guys, because I got to know him. He was one of the first guys I come acquainted with when I got on Facebook and got involved with the catfishing some years ago. He was one of the first guys then that me and him sort of started. We formed a friendship then, and you was fishing with him at the time, and now you have your own fishing guide service. So
that was
hey, let's get in this, because I know a lot of people that's in here. And hey, let me go one more thing, because Edward Anderson is in here, and he is posting some stuff here with Tackle 22. They're going to have a benefit tournament. We're going to have Edward Anderson on here with Tackle 22 with us in a couple of weeks as we get closer. Ed, just make sure you try to contact me, and let's try to get something set up that we would think that would be the best time schedule to have you come in on this program. But feel free, man, to put your stuff here in chat, let people know about it. But I am going to get in touch with you, and we're going to get you lined up with this. We want y'all, if you have any questions in chat, if you have any, whatever you have, or any thoughts for Hot Rod as we get started right here, we encourage you to come in here and to make mention or to ask that. He fishes on Lake Tawakoni. And I'm going to ask this to get started, Hot Rod. Is this a deep lake, or is it mostly a shallow lake?
Tawakoni has a lot of deep water. It's over 40,000 acres. Has a lot of deep water. Has a lot of channels feeding it. That's what makes it such a great pond for that aspect, coming as a lake. It has, from your high 50s into your low 20s, you can fish this lake, and it doesn't have an opening dam. It's just a spillway, and the fish actually stay in it, and it's got a lot of great history, and it's the most amazing body of water you can imagine for in Texas, and it's a great place to be. It has a lot of deep water and shallow water.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, let me ask you this, because I noticed you out today, and the people that if you don't have him on Facebook, go to Facebook, look up Stephen, ain't that right? Stephen Hot Rod Hames. Look him up. Is that where you run your guide service off of too? Is that page, or you got something else?
Big Fins Trophy Cat Club is my main page.
Hey, y'all had some big fish today.
Sir, we had some big fish today. We had a 45 and a half, a 31, and I had like I said, I was telling you earlier before we started the show, I had a break that was just unbelievable to me, and the years that I've been doing this fishing out here, and we had a really good day. We caught some good eaters too as well, and it was a father and son day. That's always good when you have a family out, and makes it a lot funner.
Hey, let me ask you this, and I'm gonna get Joey in on this one, and Joey knows how I feel about it. It's something about when you have a big one to break off that you never forget it. How is it that you can always remember that?
Stacy, it always you and Chad Bryant and all of y'all give it to me more than it should be given to me.
Hey, Joey,
I'm telling you, I was fishing today, Stacy, and was on a live feed, and there it came. Something about breaking line or something. When are you going to Guntersville? Well, listen, I'm gonna set the record straight. Stacy and I will be back at Guntersville this year. It will be time. It'll be that time frame to catch them big flatheads. I'll have 6 rods spooled up with nothing but slime line. No more. I will not take any braid with me. I lost 2 state records last year there on braid, 80-pound braid. 80-pound braid that I could hook to the front of my house and pull my house down with. But once a rock gets bad, it's gone. But I will be back this year with slime line on 6 rods, and I'm going. Me or Stacy one's going to get that state record this year. Write it down.
Hey Joey, and probably Hot Rod knows the same thing, because you know when we go past that place on Wheeler, and I always say we got to stop here and fish. We got to stop here and fish. There's one of them jokers that got my hook.
I bet you right now, Hot Rod, every time he goes by that specific area, he'll say, right here is where I had the one that got away.
Yeah, I've never had a break like that, guys. Never had
Hot
a break.
Rod, I hate to rub the wounds. That was probably the late record.
Never had a tug like that in my life. Never fishing.
Man.
Oh, let me ask you this. Yeah. Let me ask you this, man. Like today, where you at? I don't want to get into too much of your secrets and stuff, but I know a lot of the guys that's on here, they're looking for tips and techniques. Tell us what your method of fishing is. What is your go-to method?
Well, things I've learned, like I'm a traditional. I pull boards. I do some anchor fishing. I'm looking for fish in transition, fish that are moving, from an area to another area. Tawakoni has, changes at all the different times. Like Joey said, I run slime line when I'm pulling boards. I run a little extra long leader because you wrap a lot of fish pulling boards, and I run about a 3-foot leader on a 60-pound leader. I run Demon Dragons with Dale's hooks. Of course, bait. The way you cut your bait is a great presentation for fish, and that's a key to me. And of course, being in poles, and that's my basic. I build my own weights, my own drift weights. They're around 18 inches long, about 3 ounces. And with my leader length and the way I run, the way I pull the boards, I keep my bait in the best strike zone area. And of course, a lot of guys don't want to drift too fast and stuff of that nature. But sometimes of the year, I chase these fish at times of the year when a lot of guys don't do it. And, coming out of summertime and stuff like that, we're boating a lot of big fish when a lot of people out here don't do it. And those are my main things. Just learning the nature of, of a big body of water like Tawakoni. You're constantly learning things, and it's always, it can be great for days and days. And it can be so tricky, like no other place I've ever fished.
Yes. Well, one of the things that I found out, and I'm gonna confess this, because there's them spurts that you go through, man, that it seems like every time out, boy, you're catching fish, and you think to yourself, man, I got them dialed in. I've figured them out. Then the next trip out, you go out there and you don't catch one, and you're scratching your head. Where'd they go to? How did I get a bite? And sometimes it's very tough to stay on them things. Have you noticed, man, that these fish are moving?
They're starting to move. Weather's changing, plus the time of year. The fish move off the sun no matter what, and it's almost like they count the days as well. But Tawakoni is fed so many different ways, and a lot of areas you can catch big fish in a lot of different times depending on what kind of fisherman you are. You've got it when you stay on walking, it can be a lot bigger.
Hot Rod, we're getting some feedback there. There's something else we can hear in the background. Can you hear it, Joey?
He's just kind of breaking up a little bit, Stacy.
I got you. One of the things, that I want to stress, and I don't know if you can also identify this. I know this past week, uh, Aaron Churchwell and Daniel might have fished out there and fished a tournament. Day
Yes.
one, they done really, really good. I mean, they were sitting in seventh place, or hold on, let me get back off of that. Sorry about that, guys. Uh, they was sitting in like seventh place or something of that nature. The next day, I think I heard him make comment or something other that they got back, thought them fish would be there, but they moved. And
Right.
one of the things I continue to stress, and I'm trying to break some habits and learn as I learn some more stuff. But man, these fish, I think what we underestimate these people that we're out here looking for them. We catch them today, and we sometimes they may not be back there tomorrow.
That's
Have
right.
you noticed that?
Absolutely. Especially this time of year when you're like Texas, we don't get very cold, wet, winters here. And the last few years have been, real up and down. This has been the coldest weather we've had, and the fishing's gotten better in these months. And uh, the fish will, I think, in my opinion, the fish are going to start moving into a different transmission just because of the time, the time of year. And there's a lot of fish that are moving good in deep waters, and there's fish starting to move more in shallower waters. So it's kind of a get out there and work harder kind of deal, because Tawakoni, it's fed in so many different ways that you have to be on your game and try different things and move around. You have to.
Yeah. Hey, let me hit another subject right here with you.
Yes, sir.
What do you call shallow water?
If I'm pulling boards and running drifts and channels, anything between 20 foot and lower is shallow water to me.
What's the shallowest water you'll pull boards and stuff in?
There's parts of Tawakoni that I know of that in certain times of the year you can pull boards up to about 10, 12 foot water, maybe even a little shallower, because of the way the channels are moving on the lake, and depending to be a area like this, with these tournaments coming up and things of that nature. These fish at these times of these tournaments, uh, they, these fish now to where they'll be in a month are going to be different. They're going to be different.
Yes, and
Dan,
that's what.
Lacey, Daniel. Speaking of Daniel, he just on here. He's killing chat. Asking, he's saying he's got to hook up with HotRod within the next month to said he would like to take him out to eat and stuff. Is what he's saying. I really don't know what's going on there, but Daniel just there's 63 posts. I just counted them on chat wanting to meet up with HotRod to take him out to eat here in the next few weeks.
That's a cool cat right there. I met him years ago, and he has a great look. He focuses. He's a great angler. He's got a good teammate. He was razzing me the other day about I know where I'm falling. I know who I'm falling for Catmaster. And I said, wait a second, I'm following you, buddy. You did a great job at Tacoma. Y'all had big fish. You killed it. Daniel, you're a great guy. And you're a great angler. Good to know you.
There was a Brian Hodges here asked, what baits are you using and how do you cut them? How do you use them?
This time of year, you can use some bigger baits, a stinger rig with a double hook. You can fillet the baits down the side, hook them through the head and through the back of the body to where you have a good set. Even if you can get some carp this time of year, it doesn't bleed out real crazy like it would in the summer months. That's a great bait. I like using heads and torsos. Just good shad, good big shad, and carp. That's a great bait. It just depends, I'll fillet them differently or I'll cut them in big chunks. It just depends, if I'm running deeper water or whatever on me, put a stinger rig on one side of my rack on those SmackDown holders, and just see what happens. Get fishing.
Oh, Michael Smith just put on here and said, HotRod might not know it, but he's got plans during the Cat Masters. So,
guys, if y'all would just put the SDC in one time, we can't. Y'all hang on. I'm trying to get it popped up, but it keeps.
there he is. There you go.
Yes, sir. I just want to get focus. Like I said, family and my fishing and.
Hang on, I'm trying to get back to it. Guys, we're looking. We're going to choose a night from the chat, people that's in chat, so you don't have to put the SDC up here. And if you do, you can put it up one time, but putting it up multiple times, they're going to change nothing now.
Stacy and HotRod, I think there's a lot of people that ask a lot of questions on here, but I'm gonna say I know we touch on it every once in a while, but to me, the key to being a good angler is fresh bait.
Yes, sir.
Not scared to change up. You need to learn all the separate, dragging baits, pulling boards, suspend drifting, all the basics and fresh bait. And I'm telling you, if you spend time on the water, and that's the biggest key too, spending time on the water. All of this stuff that people do, it's really neither here nor there. There's really nothing you can do wrong, especially if you have fresh bait and you're out there. You're going to catch fish. I mean, whether you fish deep water or shallow water or structure or ledges or flats or whatever you do, the main thing is don't get frustrated when you go out and get a goose egg. I'm going to go tomorrow in the snow. So even people that fish a lot of times you don't know that they got goose egg, but even your biggest guides, HotRod and Mike Mitchell and all those fellas in the Alabama areas, they go out and get goose egged as well. So just stay with it and be persistent.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know, there was something I heard it this week on a program. I think they was talking about a bass fisherman by the name of Roland Martin. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of him before. He fished on a lake. He fishes on Lake Okeechobee. This was years ago, but I'm going to share this story. And see, one of the things that made him a greater fisherman was for 1 year he had pledged to never fish where he had been fishing, just fishing somewhere different on the same lake. And one of the things I've noticed, and I've tried to do this also, is a lot of times we get in a groove as fishermen, and we go to them same spots that we caught that big one in 4 years ago. We ain't caught him there yet. But being on that water and fishing every day and trying to just make a mental note of what the weather was doing, what the temperature was. Did we catch them in deep water? Did we catch them in shallow water? I'm telling you, there's nothing that replaces the knowledge of you just spending time on that water.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And trying different stuff. Going different places. Trying getting in different and going outside your comfort zone. HotRod, man, for years I didn't fish nothing. No, if it wasn't 20 foot or better, I didn't fish it. I did not even touch it. I mean, this got to be 25, 30 foot. That's what I'm looking for. That's my sweet zone, you know. And then I got to talking to Michael Smith's son. Michael Smith's talking about catching them in 3 and 4 foot of water, and he's pulling out fish, you know, that's 4 foot long. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at these big fish. And and we started fishing some different water, and I'm like, you know what? We have overlooked all of our life because we've been setting a pattern that we thought the big fish was in them. You know, you hear the guy down at the coffee store, they in that old big deep hole down there, you know, so and so place, and and that's where you focus at, and that's where you go to. And I will say this: we have boated several fish over 70 pounds, and I'm telling you, I would say the majority of them has come out of 15 foot or less water.
Got some big ones.
Man, that's awesome.
It's crazy.
They didn't come out that deep hole that that 100-foot hole that everybody was telling us about. They come out of 12 foot of water.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, let's do this here tonight. We're going to give away. Odell Allen put this on here. You see that, Hot Rod?
Yes, sir.
He says you're gonna become famous on Tawakoni.
It's created a pathway for me like I've never dreamed. Very grateful.
We're gonna give away a $50 of supplies to Dale's Tackle, and all you have to do is contact him. You won't be if you had to contact us. It may be a couple of days on the shipping. Joey, tell him where Dale's at.
He's down there playing with Goofy and Mickey Mouse and all that. Hey, Stacy, I don't think he's on here, but you know him as well as I know him. Hot Rod, you know him pretty good.
Yes, sir.
Well, here you go, guys. We all three know him. We can cut to the chase. He's trying to say he took his family down there to Disney World. Who went to Disney World?
Dale went to Disney World.
Hey, can you see him? I can see him on It's a Small World After All ride, just with his thumb in his mouth, just head banging to it. Well, he can't because he's got that mask over his face, but he ain't fooling me. He's at Disney World for himself. Them kids and stuff's his excuse.
Hey, Joey, he actually told me, he says, a couple of weeks ago, he said, we're going to Disney World. I want to carry the kids down to Disney World. And he says, well, I really want to go just as much as they do.
He told
and I've
you
seen him on Facebook, and he's like a little kid in a candy store right now.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, we're going to give away a gift card here to Dale's Tackle worth $50 worth of stuff. And give me just a second.
Stacy, there's
Take
a bunch
over that for a minute, Joey.
Bunch of people tuned in, and there's somebody asked earlier about bumping baits or something. If you have to have current or something, you have to have to bump, unless you just want to sit there and pull it up and off the bottom. But yeah, normally you have to have a little current, especially if you want to walk baits. But just the bump baits. You can have current, or you can just turn your trolling motor on and make your own current. I know Hot Rod probably don't ever have much current, do you?
No, sir, not a lot. Not a lot of bumping. Just pull.
Oh, Dale is on here. We're in trouble now. Hopefully he just come on.
I saw Dale.
I hope them kids are having fun at Disneyland, buddy.
I don't know if they are, but I know he is.
Hey,
we had to give him
tell
trouble.
you one thing, with the way Dale Dunaway is, I'd hate to be to have the money to supply his food at Disneyland. I'll tell you that right now.
Joey, he's looking for a drive-through right now.
You know he can't. Hey, I tell my boys when I took my boys to we got a Holiday World here. I said, you better eat before we get there, because I'm gonna tell you now, it's gonna be a long day without any food. Either you're gonna have to swallow some of that water in the swimming pools.
Hang on, I'm about to get this up. Hot Rod, you was telling us earlier a little bit about of the stuff, man. You just got you a new boy. Ain't that right? A new son. Ain't very old, man.
Hank Reed. He was born December 7th. Yeah.
There he is, Stacy. Hey, he said $250 a day on food. Please put several plugs in tonight. Dale'sTackle.com. He's running out of money.
Hey guys, y'all. Hey, y'all got to order some supplies because he going to need money just to get back home. This right here is a winner of the Dale's Tackle. This right here is $50 of products here. This right here was sponsored by Troy Smith at Rocco's Grocery. He is a local guy here with me. So Gary Borders. Gary, you are the winner of the $50 tackle. So you can just contact us. We're going to get you the information. If you have Dale as a friend on Facebook, you can just contact him personally in Messenger. And because I'm going to forward this also to him. And just tell him, hey, you're the winner of it, and he'll contact you back. If he don't answer, it may be a couple of days because he's down there in Disney World right now. But I'm telling you, he stays on his phone checking business anytime. He stays up to date with stuff anyway. So we want to thank Troy Smith and Dale. We want to give a shout out to you, man, for being such a big help to us and everything that y'all do, man.
Thanks,
hey,
Dale.
Any more questions on here? Yeah.
Yeah, Stacy. JJ Bryan is asking Hot Rod, how do you hook bait when you're using your stinger rig?
Well, if it's a big piece of bait around 10, 12 inches, the top hook will go through the bottom of the lip and out through a nostril, and then you'll hook the back of the stinger around the back behind where the fin would be or whatever. Usually cut the tail off and slice down the side of the bait, and that's usually how I run my stinger.
And a Hot Rod Rick Green would like to know, do you cut your bait in an angle?
Yes, sir. Most of the time I cut my baits in angles. If it's coming from the back of the head and cutting down towards the belly, I'll run that piece, and then I'll cut a side piece out of the actual torso and chunk the fin,
And I see one more, Stacy. It's from Edward Anderson. He would like to know how you adjust when thermocline sets in and water temperatures are climbing.
Well, with thermocline, I fish around the 30-foot area, so I'm not usually in between it a whole lot. I don't fish in real deep waters a whole lot. So thermocline is usually not a big issue with me because I'm usually around 30 to 35 feet. But yeah, that's a good question. I don't really have to adjust on that one much because I'm not really past the 30 and 35 feet of water. I usually focus in anywhere from about 30, 35 feet and below.
Hey, Hot Rod, let me ask you this, and I'm on that lake that you're on, have you ever had to deal with the thermocline a lot, or you just don't fish in that deep of water, period?
I'm usually not past 30 and 35 feet of water for the most part. And when I am in that, it's a colder water. I just don't fish that deep of water that often. I'm on the 30 to 35 foot and below.
Yeah. Hey, well, let me ask you this also. We talked about bait a while ago. What is your favorite bait?
My favorite bait for this time of year, it would probably be carp. Good carp. The blue cats on Tawakoni, or anywhere else, they eat like no other, and they'll eat anything. But that extra bloody, extra sweet meat with a little more oil in it works really good. I like carp for this time of year for my favorite bait.
Hey, some people do, and some people don't, Hot Rod. When you use carp or a scaled fish, not so much skipjack probably, but carp, Asian carp, so you probably don't have those. Do you like to scale them, or do you just leave the scales on them?
Absolutely scale. Scale any fish you can use for more scent or more oil.
Shad? Big shad, do you scale those as well?
Yep, absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Joy, what else you see there?
I guess a lot of shout outs. Michael Smith says that HotRod don't know it, but he's probably going to be going to Disney after Cat Masters. I like Michael. Hey, I like him. That's my cup of tea right there.
Yeah.
Hey, Joey, so what you're saying is when he's on the stage and receiving the trophy, they're going to ask him where you going. He says, me and my family is going to Disney World.
Hey,
right.
There ain't nothing in the, hey, some people get mad at it, but there ain't nothing in the world wrong with being confident.
That's right.
No.
So confident, growing.
Hey, somebody asked, is there a particular type planer board that you run?
Absolutely. The best planer board I've ever used for functionality, dependability is spread 'em planer boards. Wesley Mann's product is bar none, like nothing on the water. Year after year, I can pull that board week after week, day after day, and it stays together. It doesn't fall apart. It's just it's a great American product, just like them SmackDown holders.
Hey, thank you. Yes, and he has a great product with spread 'em planer boards.
Yes,
This
sir.
guy right here, and this is a legit. This is a good question. Do you think planer boards have changed the game, made catfishing a lot better for drifting?
100%. Yes, sir.
Hands down, ain't it?
Hands down. I mean, I can think of 5 years ago when no other boat out here on Tawakoni pulled a board until Michael Smith did. And it changed fishing. Every person from a guide to a Joe to a pro is pulling boards in their boat because of the effectiveness of pulling boards. You've got twice as much coverage. You're not tangling lines. You're being more effective in channels. You're covering everything. It's a night and day thing.
Yeah,
I agree.
I run into this HotRod back home because I was the first guy over here on the down here in South Alabama. I've never saw nobody run boards, and I'm coming up the middle of the river, and we ain't on one of them big lakes. And man, I've got this joker covered, and a couple of guys stopped me and asked me, said, "What are you doing?" And all they've ever seen people do is crappie fishing. I'm coming in the middle of the river and they asking me, "Are you crappie fishing?" I'm like, man, I ain't crappie fishing, I'm catfishing. And they said, "We've never seen this done before." And I use a terminology because now I'm no longer fishing right behind my boat. For years, if we was drifting or dragging, we was fishing that if your boat's 8 foot wide, you maybe can stick the pole out the side another 8 foot or 8 foot on each side, and that's the only area that you can cover. And but now with them planer boards, hey, we ain't just covering 15 foot. We covering 40, 50, 60 foot of area as we come up and make a pass through there. So there's no doubt it is a game changer.
Absolutely.
It is. Hey, and a lot of times, Stacy, you and I know you can have 6 or 8 rods out and have 4 planer boards, and the majority of your fish you catch a day is going to be on them planer boards.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know. A lot of people. I know. I think Michael or somebody on here was talking one night on our show, Stacy, that them further ones out there is away from the boat traffic, your trolling motor, your boat. I mean, it makes sense, when you start thinking about it. So,
you know what I've thought a lot of times, and I don't know if you've experienced this, but I want to tell some of the guys that's on here that has not been acquainted with planer boards that we have fished, some days, and we've had planer boards out and never catch. And every fish we caught was off of a planer board that was 30 foot over to the left or right. And I thought about this because if we'd have had just the 4 or 5 rods out the back, we'd have never caught nothing. And we'd have left that day and said, well, the fish just wasn't biting. But they were. We wouldn't have knew it. We wouldn't have had them planer board. We was catching everything way on the outside. Now, I've got my ideas of why that, but if you wouldn't have had them, you wouldn't have been catching fish. And that
Yeah.
right there is some stuff we've experienced.
Yeah. It's correct.
Have
Hey,
you experienced that also?
and Dale does have those planer boards on his site at dalestackle.com. He does have those particular planer boards. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hot Rod, have you experienced the same thing with the planer boards on days? I'm catching right there, but I ain't catching nothing on them ones I'm dragging right behind the boat.
Sure, you have those days. If I'm pulling two boards on a side and I'm running two out the middle, I like to always run really far out, one real far out. And but you have those days to where, 9 out of 10 times your planer boards are more effective any day, any condition. But you have those days where you have a hot rod in the middle.
that's right.
Hey, there ain't no doubt about that.
Hey,
And,
Stacy and I anchor up. I'll tell this on Stacy. We anchor up a lot at nighttime, especially. We fish in some pretty swift water.
Yes.
Stacy will literally, and he keeps his spools on hot rod. He keeps his spools full. He'll literally hey, when we're anchored up in that swift water, he will have one. I'm going to say 75 yards. You almost have, he has a real bright light. He has to shine it way out there. And that sucker, if a boat's coming back to the ramp within 100 yards of it, it's going to cut his planer board off.
Hot Rod, I'm trying to get the upper hand on him. I'm going to get one way over yonder, way out the way.
He does.
And I was off the other day fishing, and we was out one afternoon, and we was anchored. And when we got there, I went to clipping a planer board on, and the guy says, "I've never fished with planer boards anchored." I said, "Man, this current." I said, "Watch me. I may fish over behind that other guy's boat over yonder before it's over."
Man, the fishing rivers and ponds are a lot different.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they are.
For sure.
Yes, they are.
There's not a whole lot of dragging here. You may have a month a year to drag baits. And I had a fella here, a local fella, Dwayne's asking, what's the most current you can pull boards in? I guess if you can pull baits, you can pull boards. The key is keeping it on the bottom. I don't pull any kind of baits in no more than at least I'd say a mile an hour would be max the water. I mean, and that's using 6 to 8 ounces to keep that down on the bottom. So, and there is people that anchor up and let them boards out. I haven't tried that technique much, but it makes sense, to spread that scent out. That's basically what you're doing is getting that scent out there and covering that whole area.
Yep.
Yes. Hey, I want to give away here as we get ready to close in a few minutes. I want to give away a set of 4-inch, 2 4-inch SmackDown rod holders. Guys, if you're in the chat, and I'll do them of any color that you want. If you're in the chat, and if you're interested in a set of 2 4-inch SmackDown rod holders, hey, just put SmackDown rod holders or rod holders in the comment bar. I know some of y'all may not be interested in some. Some of y'all may already have some. But we're going to do that right there. And if you're interested in them, put that right there in the comment bar. And we're going to give that away. Joey, have you got anything else you want to share?
Yeah, Stacey, there's a couple more questions that you and Hot Rod can answer pretty quick. Nathan Trammell would like to know, do y'all normally run 4 boards?
Absolutely.
All right. That's about what Stacy runs as well. No, kick the boat sideways and run boards. Each somebody said that try them each different lengths. Of course, I always try them different and see what they choose. That's about it. Somebody on there asked if you made the T-bars, and no, Stacy does not. But you can get them on his website, SmackDown
Yes,
Catfishing.
I do not personally make them. I personally make the rod holders here at my shop, but the multi-bars are made by Colton Howell, as who makes them. I do sell them on my web page. These right here are high quality products. So if you're interested in some, you can contact us there on www.smackdowncatfishing.com. If you have any questions, you can call me, and I can answer them questions right there for you.
Well, Michael Smith, he's one that you can, if he talks, you can listen. He's saying 0.5 to 1.2 would be probably max pulling boards. I mean, you can, and you might go out there. I tell people this, and you might go out there in 3 mile an hour current and put a board on there and catch the biggest fish you've ever caught. But through my experiences and most people that you see, they pull in little to no current. Stacey,
HotRod,
questions. I think we've got all the questions answered.
I've got one more question for him, because I want to hear this. What is, how fast dragging baits, drifting? How fast is fast? Let me know that, HotRod.
Sorry, my phone cut out there. What was the question?
When dragging baits, pulling boards, how fast? When you say, "Hey, we moving fast," how fast is that?
Anything over a mile an hour is too fast, in my opinion. 0.7 is perfect, ideal. Anything over a mile an hour, you're just moving too quick. You need to slow it down.
That's probably in still water too.
That's right. That's right.
Now current, you got to take consideration. Most of the time, everybody pulls against the current. So if you've got a mile an hour current, you're pushing it. And yes, somebody asked on here, Adam Isaac asked, most of the time, yes, sir, when you're pulling boards or planer boards or dragging baits, yes, you're not suspending the baits, you're dragging them, pulling them.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I'm going to give you this. Yeah, let me do what, Joey?
I think that's all the questions and stuff that I see, buddy.
All right, we fixing to get ready to jump off of here. We've enjoyed this afternoon, but before we do, HotRod, we want to give you an opportunity. If there's anybody you want to give a shout out to, I do know there's a tournament coming up on the Tawakoni with the High Fence Blues is putting on. Here's your time, man. Let it shine.
We've got High Fin Blues, Mike Smith's big tournaments here on Lake Tawakoni. The next one is February 20th, and got Dale's Tackle products coming in. You've got giveaways from B&M. The next tournament is March 20th, and the next one after that is April 17th. And these are going to be big tournaments. Anglers from all over will be here, and come on in and join the fun.
What about any sponsors that you want to give a shout out to?
Man, I want to give a shout out to Dale's Tackle, Spread 'em Planer Boards, those SmackDown Rod Holders, Demon Dragons, Monster Fishing Apparel, and I'm grateful. B&M Rods. I'm grateful for the road I've been down these last 5 years, and I'm grateful for everybody that stands behind me, and look forward to building and going forward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, it's been an honor having you on here.
Thank you so much.
The winner of the rod holders, JJ Bryan. JJ, you can send me a message on SmackDown Catfishing or Stacy Gaston, and we'll make sure. Send me a message with your address and if there's a specific color that you want, we can get them right there to you. I want to close with something now. I want to share this because of all the times that we're in. Somebody made the comment to me today, and you've heard this: faith is a grain of mustard seed. And one of my favorite verses that I've learned to just sort of hold on to is located in the book of Mark, chapter 11, and it says, "Have faith in God." And I just want to share this because a lot of time we put so much faith in man. And man, I'm going to tell you, man will let you down. And sometimes not because he wants to, it's just sometimes he's limited in what he can do. We just, it's certain things we cannot do. But I'm telling you, God is one that's able to turn situations around. So put and place your faith in Him alone. And it says, "For verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever you desire when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you shall have them." This passage is based upon faith, and I want you to grab a hold of this. And I was asked one time, what is faith? What is this? And faith is just simply, if me and you were doing something, and you asked me to do something, and I responded to, or you give me a command to do something, and I done it, that would mean I had faith in you. If we pull up to a red light, and you was my passenger in my vehicle, and sometimes you do this, your passenger said, "Hey, it's good to go." And a lot of times you don't even look, you just go. What was that? That was an act of faith. You believed in what they said, and you just acted upon it. So what is faith? Faith is just simply believing God and His Word and acting upon it. I want to tell y'all, the Lord loves you. We in some times, man, where it's sometimes tough, and there's things that happen, I just don't know why they happen. I don't know why things take place. I don't know why bad things happen to good people. I don't know that, but I do know this. We serve a God who cares about us, and He'll bring us comfort and peace in our time of need. God bless y'all. Y'all have a great week, and may the favor of the Lord continually be upon y'all's life. We'll see y'all next week.